get the last shot of the quarter there. Nicely done.
Yeah, clock running out. They stay poised and get the shot off just in time.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Hornets ahead. They lead by 2. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter for the Hornets was fairly even. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. In the second quarter, they made it look easy. They played well at both ends of the court, and suddenly they're sitting on a 9-point lead here at halftime. Shaq, your thoughts on the Hornets?
I like their commitment to that inside game, boy. Get it inside to the post. Got to be scoring in the post, flashing to the basket, just shoot the high percentage shot. No jumpers, no threes. They're being a more aggressive team, the more physical team. They're definitely going to win this game, Ernie.
And over to Kenny now. Your take on the Kings.
They need to break it down. And I look at the individual areas that they're struggling. Like they're getting pounded. I mean pounded, Ernie, on the boards. That's a hustle stat.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Hornets lead by 10. We'll be back shortly live from Spectrum Center.
Tell his guys were dragging a little bit, calling timeout to kind of let them catch their breath.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kemba Walker.
It's a take-charge brand of basketball he's been playing tonight. His point total tells you all you need to know about just how good he's been. And once he got going, their game plan really became simple. Just get him the ball.
A really solid performance here in front of the home crowd. He may not be the star of this team, but thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We so hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime report. Derek Favors had no problems getting going. He ended up with 15 points, 3 steals, and 5 rebounds. And, Kenny, what'd you see out there from the Jazz?
It's like night and day when Derek Favors plays with energy. In the post and on the boards, he threw his weight around in the first half. And every year he adds more moves, more polish to his offensive repertoire.
And Shaq, what'd you see from Atlanta?
When you think about giving up 3 or 4 extra turnovers, that can mean 8 or 9 points at the other end. That's why every coach preaches it. Take care of the basketball. Bottom line, they need to protect the ball and play under control.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. That'll wrap it up, folks. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. And we'll see you next time. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. James Harden led the way in the first half. He ended up with 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Coming off a great performance last game, tonight he looked like he had that same aggressive mindset. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Rockets?
Well, it was an unselfish, team-oriented half of basketball. The ball never stopped moving. Their offense had a great flow to it. It prevented anyone from getting lazy out there. They're always moving, cutting, knowing where they need to pass the ball, Ernie.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Miami?
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
Go away. We'll be back momentarily. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. For the Grizzlies, the first quarter was pretty even. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. The second quarter got a lot more exciting for them as they were putting up big numbers and find themselves way out in front here at the half. Kenny, what'd you think about the Grizzlies?
I love the way they're getting after it in the paint. Moving bodies, attacking the rim, scoring at will. Sometimes teams try to hurt you with the three ball. They went right for the heart of the defense. Look at them to keep pounding it inside and staying physical.
And over to Shaq. What did you think about Philadelphia?
Well, first of all, as cold as they've been from the floor, I can't say I'm surprised by the score. You cannot shoot the ball that poorly and expect to be in the game, Ernie. They need better ball movement. If their offense stays this stagnant, they could forget about a comeback.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
Quarter. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. The presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Marc Gasol.
And as you'd expect, he's done most of his damage in that low block. I mean, that was the game plan, to get it to him in the paint and just let him go to work. And boy, has the big fella delivered. He has just killed them down low.
And this is exactly what a star player is supposed to do. Coming off a loss, he made sure they weren't going to make it 2 in a row. For now, for Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. It's Milwaukee with the advantage at the half. They hold a 4-point lead. Kenny, some perspective, please.
Well, their ball movement was phenomenal. Now, they're in good position to win this game, in large in part because of those assists. And this is the thing, Ernie. When you win as a team, you feel better about everything that happens.
Shaq, what'd you think about Phoenix?
Well, to say their shots are not falling is an understatement. It's a miracle they're still in this game. They need to flip the switch big time in the second half, and that starts with more movement on offense. If you don't have a great look, find the open man, drive the ball, create an opportunity. Come on, basketball 101.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
And we've reached the end of the third. Bucks lead by 4. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. We've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And I would point to his shooting percentage as the key reason he's our pick. And that sounds simple, but he hadn't tried to do too much. He hasn't tried to force his shots, just kind of waited and worked to get good looks. And in the end, he's found plenty of them.
He's played up to his full potential tonight, and he's been playing to the crowd, too. He loves being the star attraction, even if it doesn't happen on a regular basis. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.
Of the clock to end the quarter. I like that. Even though he's in a hurry, he still remains under control.
And that does it for the first quarter. New Orleans on top, up by 5. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from New Orleans.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. They did give up a couple baskets more than they wanted to, and at the end of the period, were trailing by 5 points. With an excellent team performance in the second quarter, they were able to push ahead, scoring easily and defending with a lot more intensity, pushing out to a 10-point lead here at the half. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Bulls?
The area where they impressed me the most has been on the boards. When the shot's gone up, everybody goes for it. It's just a matter of maintaining that energy, playing with that same kind of aggression in the final 2 quarters.
Kenny, let's get your opinion on New Orleans.
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
Pelicans lead by 1. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. It's now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Anthony Davis.
And when he's been on the floor, it has been a clinic in rim protection and shot blocking. He's played the defense of 3 men tonight. His block total has gotten to a point you almost never see in an NBA game.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. Folks, for Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later. Second quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. A pretty close game for the Wizards throughout the first quarter. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. The second quarter was where they really opened things up. They were by far the stronger team both defensively and when they had the ball. Their 13-point halftime lead, no accident. And taking a look at the Wizards, Shaq, what'd you think?
Well, they really dictated the pace of the game with their transition game. They got out on the break every chance they had, and the time they could push the tempo, they did. And a lot of times it kept the defense scrambling like eggs with the cheese and apple juice.
Kenny, how do you think Dallas played?
Well, obviously, they didn't show up on the glass at all. They were getting outworked, out-hustled, and outplayed. And their competition showed just the opposite. They wanted it more. You can't give up a ton of extra possessions in a game like this and expect to win.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
And they've created a bunch of turnovers with that terrific D. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you later.
At it on the monitor, but replays here, and it's here to stay for situations just like that one.
So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. The Nuggets on top, up by 11. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a...
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal, and this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. Denver came ready to play. They showed tremendous effort and drove the action early, starting off with a 9-2 run. They kept up enough momentum to close out the first quarter with a 6-point lead. Then in quarter number 2, it was all hands on deck, and what a show it was. Quality execution, good efficiency, some tremendous defensive play helped them take a decisive advantage, and they're running away with this one. Kenny, your thoughts on the Nuggets' first half?
Their perimeter shooting has made the difference, and so many of their points are coming from long range. They've come out, spread the floor, and executed their jump shooting game. It's been a barrage from the three-point line. Guys always finding the open shot. If they can stay hot from three-point land in the second half, this game is over.
Shaq, how do you think Portland played?
Well, they struggled in a number of areas. Protecting the rim is really at the top of the list. They haven't made that a priority. They haven't put forth a whole lot of effort. You got to protect the rim.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
It's been a one-sided affair. Denver on top, running away with it. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter.
Five, 9 or shorter have played 1,000 minutes or more in a season, and He's not just playing, he's playing at the highest level.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul Millsap.
And he's provided them with a major mismatch on that low block tonight, that they've been able to lean on his scoring in the paint. And if nothing else has worked, he's given them a reliable option on every possession.
And they were in danger of losing back-to-back games before. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you next time. Second quarter will be on the way when we come back.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It's an interesting battle going on tonight. Ernie Johnson here with you folks, alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. You are watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Right out of the gates, it was the Clippers setting the tone. Amped up and ready off the tip, they immediately went on an 11-4 run. Once they got on the scoreboard, they were relentless at staying out in front, never once letting the lead change hands. And into the second quarter, momentum started to shift slightly as they gave up some of that lead, ending the half up 3. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, I thought that turning point was when the bench came in. Those guys really hustled, and they gave the team some energy, and then they started to score baskets. That was a bonus.
Shaq, what you think about Minnesota?
I was surprised at some of the recklessness. They were scattered, sloppy ball handling, just too many turnovers. It gets back to fundamentals. Forget the highlight reel pass. Make the effective one. Simple bounce pass. John Wooden taught us that in the 40s, 30s, 50s, whenever he was coaching. Just play under control. Simple ball, dude.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
Spurs lead by 1. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return.
Good look and score quickly.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Danilo Gallinari.
And to me, the best part of his game has been the work he's done inside. I mean, slashing, driving the lane, attacking the basket at every chance. When he's had an opening, he's taken it.
Do it for now. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.